Hi, I'm Matt Patterson, enterprise reporter with the Oklahoman, and we're back again with our monthly look at animal welfare issues with Animal Welfare Superintendent Julie Bank. And we have a guest today. This is Spot.
We have Spot. Is she not the cutest little girl? She's 3 months old. We're calling her Spot because she has this beautiful coloring on her body, and it's kind of all spotted. We think she's a dachshund mix, and she is a little girl that came to us as a stray. Could you believe that?
It's amazing. She
running
made it,
by herself in the street. And it's very, very sad to see any animal running in the street, but certainly the little ones, especially when there's so many things that we could do to protect them and also spay-neuter them so that we don't have the overpopulation problem at all. So it's sad, but right now she is in good hands and she's a very good girl.
And Spot is she's a couple months old.
She's only about 3 months old, so she'll probably be a 10-pound-ish little girl. She's right now waiting for her stray period, just in case somebody out there sees her and says, that's my dog, we would like to have her go back home. But if not, she will then get spayed and get ready for adoption, probably on Wednesday or Thursday.
And springtime is here. It's a popular time for young baby animals, dogs, cats. Talk a little bit about that right now.
So the winter time is when we get a little bit of a reprieve at the shelter, and it's really nice because it gives us the opportunity to kind of catch our breath a little bit. But starting March is when we see incoming babies left and right. And we see so many different kinds of babies. We see dogs, cats, wildlife. And it's a real problem because it contributes dramatically to overpopulation in the community. So we will triple the amount of animals, and sometimes it feels like it's almost overnight, especially with cats. Last month we had 2 cats up for adoption, which was pretty awesome. But I know as an animal welfare professional that by mid-March we're going to be filled with moms and babies without moms, and lots of animals that need our support. And our goal is to try to prevent that. Our goal is to try to encourage people to be responsible pet owners through spay-neuter, keeping your animals indoors, and lots of other things so that we don't have to have the animals at the animal shelter in the first place. But if they come into the shelter, then we're going to do right by them.
You mentioned when we talked earlier that you've seen an increase in calls to animal control. Why is that, and what can people do to prevent some of those calls?
Well, it happens every year at this time. Not only do we see an increase of animals coming in the door, but our calls increase. And it's because something about the summer makes people not always behave right with their animals. A lot of times they just let them out. When it's cold, they're hesitant to do that. But when it's warmer, they open up the doors and allow them out. They let them in their backyard, but they have holes in their fences, and then the animal's running through the streets. And it is your responsibility as a pet owner to confine your animal. That is the law. And to also ensure that you know where that animal is at all times and they're not menacing the community. And unfortunately, when we see more animals out and about because people are not following the law, that's when our agency starts getting calls and starts getting concerns from the community. So a couple of things that you have to remember as a pet owner. As I said a minute ago, your animal has to be confined at all times. That means on a leash or in a fenced-in yard. You cannot just open your gate and let your dog run loose and think that that is following the law. You can get a fine, and also there could be a dangerous situation with an animal bite, or worse, your animal can get hurt. So it's really, really important to think about that. The second thing, though, as responsible pet owners is you always want to make sure that you have identification on your animal's neck. Because if you don't, and that animal is picked up like this little girl here, it's going to be brought to the shelter and we don't know how to get him back to you. So identification is really key.
Microchips, a big part of that. That's a popular thing. Talk about how beneficial those are.
Yeah, whether it's a ID tag with your name, address, phone number on it, whether you put the name on a collar, which you should always do on the inside just in case an ID tag falls off. Get your animal a permanent microchip implant, which you can get fairly cheap. We actually have a vaccine clinic happening at the shelter in April, where we are going to be offering low-cost microchips as well as vaccinations, so you can actually learn more about that. We want to make it as easy as possible. Sometimes people tattoo animals, and we actually tattoo every animal that gets spayed or neutered by us with an identification number, so if that animal comes back to our shelter, we can match it in our computer system. It is probably the number one thing that you could do for your animal to keep your animal safe.
Rabies tags, a lot of people have them, they get them from their vets. Some people don't put them on. What's the rationale for making sure they get on your pet's collar?
Well, first of all, it's the law. The law says that you have to wear your rabies tag. It's not good enough to just have it, but you have to wear it. And the reason for that is if your animal gets picked up as a stray or worse, bites somebody, we know that that animal has been vaccinated. Without that tag, we can't tell if this animal has been vaccinated or not. If an animal is at the shelter and we don't know its previous vaccine history, we're going to revaccinate the animal. And for some, they don't want that to happen, depending on your philosophy on vaccines. But it's also another form of identification. If you have a current rabies tag on your animal's neck, and we get that animal, we can actually call the veterinary hospital and say, hey, who does this dog belong to, and get this dog back home. We do a lot of returns in the field, and what that means is if we find an animal with ID, we will bring them right back to your house instead of ever bringing them to the animal shelter. I had that happen last week. I was moving, and all of a sudden a dog comes running down the street, and I thought, oh, great. Perfect timing, but I was going to stop and find what I needed for this animal, and luckily the animal had a rabies tag as well as an identification tag. It was one of my new neighbor's dogs, and I was able to get him home. Didn't even have to have animal control come at all.
And you're instantly popular with your new neighbors.
Well, I don't know if that was popular or if they heard the animal control director telling them not to do that again.
Right. A couple of events going on right now. March Madness, this is a unique event that you guys have come up with to tie into the NCAA basketball tournament. Tell the people about that.
So the past week, we have celebrated March Madness adoption event at Oklahoma City Animal Shelter, and it's been so much fun. We have so many staff members that are basketball fans, and they really were all into the March Madness basketball and thought we should connect. We created a bracket where we chose 64 dogs that are available for adoption. We named them all sports teams, and we actually have a bracket in our lobby where you could see the standing of every one of the animals. And every animal that gets adopted is $30. They all go home with a prize, but the last dog standing who gets the best shot of thing is going to actually get the big prize. And we got donated items, and it's just a way to encourage people to have fun and get involved and participate with us. And we've seen such a great support on this event. We've had a lot of people that we wouldn't normally have reached calling us up and saying, hey, I don't think that Arizona should win. I think that the Sooner dog should win. And of course we have a dog named Sooner as part of that.
Right, absolutely. And you also have All Paws on Deck this coming up too. Talk a little bit about that.
So that's going to happen on the 26th, and that is an opportunity for individuals in the community to get involved and learn more about Oklahoma City animal welfare. Once a year, we invite everybody and anybody in, whether you're younger, older, part of a group or an individual, to come help us spruce up the building. And we have a whole bunch of different shifts of everything from cleaning kennels to helping out in the barn to helping in the landscaping, and we're going to all be there. Last year, we had almost 200 people show up and really learn about us, and we had a few adoptions as part of that. We also got some permanent volunteers as part of that, but even if people come just once a year and come out as a family, it's a great way for you to give back, get involved, and you could just check out our Facebook page and you could see how you could sign up.
We had a really mild winter, really almost no winter at all, but spring is here, people are out more. What are some fun, entertaining things that people can do with their pets in the spring?
Well, it's a perfect time to get out and about with your dogs. A lot of times people just put their dog in the backyard and they forget about them. And putting your dog on a leash and going for a walk, taking your dog to the dog park is not only a great way to get some exercise, but it's also a great way to give your pet exercise. And more importantly, you can meet people that way. So we say get out. There's a lot of animal events throughout the city that encourage you to get involved, whether it's through our shelter, another organization, or even just going for coffee to a dog-friendly place and bringing your pet with you. Now, of course, you can only do that if your animal is good in the community and that he's not a danger to other animals or people. But it's really a bonding time for you and your family. And I would also say if you don't have a pet, it's a perfect time to get one, because it's not like you're stuck in your house in the cold weather in the winter and you don't know what to do with the pet. Get out and about, take them to the park, join an obedience club, do fly ball, which is dancing with your pets. There's so many different things, and we're there to help you learn more. I think somebody's fallen asleep.
Yeah. And speaking of adoption, Spot is not available just quite yet, but she will be.
If nobody comes and claims her, then she is going to get spayed, and then she will be put up for adoption either Thursday or Friday of this week. And again, you can continue to look at our Facebook page where we will post whether she's gone home or whether she's available for adoption, and you'll learn more about the day. And we're thinking Thursday is probably the best day.
Julie Bank with the Oklahoma City Animal Welfare Department. Thanks for coming in today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And again, remember, spay neuter your pet so that you don't contribute to this overpopulation problem at all. And Oklahoma City Animal Welfare can help you with that. We have free spay neuter for any Oklahoma City residents, so just contact us.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.